Ladies and gentlemen, life will not always treat you kindly. Life will test you. Life will push you to your knees and dare you to stay down. But a warrior does not remain on the ground. A warrior rises. A warrior fights back. A warrior understands that the greatest battles are not fought with swords, but with the strength of the mind. Let me tell you something powerful. Pain is not your enemy. Pain is your teacher. Every setback you faced, every disappointment you've endured, every betrayal that broke your heart, that was life sharpening your blade, molding your character, testing your resolve. The question is not, why me? The real question is, what will I do with this pain? Because warriors don't waste suffering. They transform it into fuel. Discipline, my friends, is the secret weapon. Motivation will get you started, but discipline will keep you going when motivation runs out. Anyone can act strong when they feel inspired. But what about the days when you're tired? What about the days when you don't feel like moving? That's when discipline takes the wheel. That's when you say, I may not feel like it, but I will do it anyway. That's the mark of a warrior. Understand this, your mind is your battlefield. If you lose the fight in your head, you've already lost the war in your life. Thoughts of fear, doubt, and weakness will come knocking every single day, but you have a choice. You can entertain them, or you can reject them. You can believe them, or you can fight them. A warrior builds a fortress of strength inside their mind. A warrior says, I am bigger than my problems. I am stronger than my excuses. I am more powerful than my fears. And yes, you will fall again and again. You will fail. You will stumble. You will make mistakes. But warriors don't count how many times they've fallen. Warriors count how many times they've risen. Each time you rise, you come back wiser, stronger, more determined. Falling is not the end. It is the beginning of your rise. Remember, warriors are not born. They are forged. They are shaped through struggle, fire, and pressure. You may not see yourself as strong now, but every battle you survive is building you into the warrior you were meant to be. You have greatness inside of you. You have resilience that you haven't even tapped into yet. So stand tall, embrace your pain, master your discipline, win in your mind, rise every time you fall, and let the fire of struggle forge you into a warrior who cannot be broken. Because the world doesn't need more quitters. The world doesn't need more complainers. The world needs warriors. And today, you have the choice to become one. Pain is not your enemy, it is your instructor. Think about that for a moment. Most people run from pain. They hide from it, they complain about it, they curse it. But the truth is, pain is life's way of preparing you for what's next. Every great champion, every successful leader, every warrior you admire has a history filled with pain. Not one of them reached greatness without walking through the fire of disappointment, rejection, and struggle. And yet, what made them different was not the absence of pain, but their decision to learn from it. Pain is like the gym for your soul. When you walk into a gym and pick up a weight, it hurts. Your muscles resist, they burn, they ache. And in that moment, you might want to put the weight down, to stop. But if you keep pushing through that discomfort, something amazing happens. You get stronger. Life works the same way. The struggles you're facing are not there to break you. They are there to build you. If you run away from them, you stay weak. If you embrace them, you grow powerful. Now, here's the difference between people who stay stuck and people who rise. One group asks, why is this happening to me? The other asks, what is this teaching me? When you see pain as a teacher, your entire perspective changes. That heartbreak wasn't meant to destroy you. It was meant to teach you about your own worth. That job you lost wasn't meant to humiliate you. It was meant to teach you that your future is not tied to one employer. That failure wasn't meant to label you. It was meant to educate you. Pain carries lessons that comfort never could. I remember hearing someone say, "A smooth sea never made a skilled sailor." And that's true for life. If everything went your way, if every door opened easily, if every relationship was perfect, you wouldn't develop resilience, patience, or determination. It is the storms, the obstacles, and the hardships that shape you into the kind of person who can handle the blessing when it finally arrives. Pain is preparation for your promise. And listen, I know it's not easy. Nobody likes pain. It doesn't feel good. It can leave you crying in the dark, wondering if you'll ever make it through. But here's the thing, you will. Because pain is temporary. It doesn't last forever. It will pass. But the strength, the wisdom, and the toughness you gain from it, that stays with you for a lifetime. The scars you carry are not signs of defeat. They are proof that you survived, proof that you endured, proof that you're still standing. The mistake too many people make is that they let pain define them instead of refine them. They wear it like a chain around their neck, dragging it everywhere they go. But a warrior takes that same pain and uses it as fuel. They turn it into a stepping stone instead of a stumbling block. They say, "Yes, it hurt. Yes, it broke me for a moment. But I am not staying broken. I am coming back stronger, wiser, and tougher than I was before." So the next time pain shows up, don't curse it. Don't run from it. Look it in the face and say, "Teach me." Let it instruct you. Let it mold you. Let it prepare you for the warrior you are destined to become. Because in the end, pain is not your enemy. It is your most faithful teacher. And those who learn from it cannot be defeated. Discipline will carry you further than motivation. Motivation is like a spark. It can light a fire. It can get you started, but sparks fade. Discipline, on the other hand, is the wood that keeps the fire burning long after the spark has disappeared. Too many people wait for motivation to move them. They wait to feel good before they act. But warriors don't wait for feelings. They act regardless of how they feel, because they know feelings are temporary, but discipline creates results that last. Think about it. How many times have you been motivated at the beginning of the year? You write down your goals, you feel excited, you tell yourself this time will be different. And then what happens? Weeks pass, the excitement wears off, life gets hard, and the motivation you were counting on vanishes. That's why so many people never finish what they start. They were relying on motivation when they should have been building discipline. Discipline is doing what needs to be done even when you don't feel like it. It's waking up early when your body screams to stay in bed. It's studying when your friends are out having fun. It's showing up to practice when nobody is watching. Discipline is that quiet force that says, "I will keep moving forward no matter what." And let me tell you something, it is far more powerful than motivation. Motivation whispers for a moment, but discipline speaks every single day. Discipline builds trust with yourself. When you say you're going to do something and you follow through, you strengthen your confidence. But when you break promises to yourself, when you quit, when you give up, you weaken your spirit. That's why warriors don't rely on moods. They rely on discipline. They know that consistency beats intensity every single time. You don't have to be the smartest. You don't have to be the fastest. You don't even have to be the most talented. But if you are disciplined, if you are willing to do the work day after day, you will outlast everyone who depends only on motivation. Let me give you an example. A motivated person runs fast at the start of the race. They sprint with energy, with excitement, with passion. But when fatigue sets in, when the road gets long, when the muscles ache, that motivation disappears. The disciplined runner, however, keeps the same steady pace. They don't burn out because their strength isn't based on how they feel. It's based on the habits they've built At the end of the race, the disciplined runner is the one who crosses the finish line. Discipline is not glamorous. It doesn't always feel exciting. It's repetitive. It's sometimes boring. It's doing the small things right over and over again. But those small things add up to big victories. The warrior knows that greatness is not built in a single moment of inspiration. It is built through the grind, through the sweat, through the daily choices that no one else sees. And here's the beauty of it: the more disciplined you become, the less you need motivation, because discipline itself becomes a habit. It becomes your new normal. And when that happens, nothing can stop you. Obstacles may come, distractions may show up, challenges may rise, but discipline will keep you on course. So stop waiting to feel ready. Stop waiting to feel motivated. Start practicing discipline. Do what you said you would do. Build the muscle of consistency, because motivation may get you started, but discipline will carry you all the way to the finish line. Your mind is your battlefield. Win there first. Before you ever conquer anything outside of you, you must first conquer what is happening inside of you. The wars of life are not won with fists, weapons, or armies. They are won with thoughts, beliefs, and focus. If your mind is defeated, your life will reflect that defeat. But if your mind is strong, if your spirit is unshakable, then no matter what storm comes, you will find a way to rise above it. Every single day, negative thoughts will try to invade your mind. Doubt will whisper, "You're not good enough." Fear will shout, "You're going to fail." Insecurity will creep in and say, "You don't belong here." And if you're not careful, you will start to believe those lies, because whatever dominates your mind will dictate your actions. If you think small, you'll live small. If you think weak, you'll live weak. But if you think strong, if you think possibility, if you think victory, you will move with the confidence of a warrior who knows that no challenge can defeat them. The mind is like soil. Whatever seeds you plant there will grow. If you plant seeds of doubt, fear, and negativity, you will harvest failure and regret. But if you plant seeds of courage, discipline, and determination, you will reap success and fulfillment. The problem is, many people are careless gardeners. They allow the weeds of toxic thoughts to overtake their minds, and then they wonder why their lives are a mess. Warriors don't let that happen. Warriors guard their thoughts. Warriors train their minds every day to focus on victory, not defeat. Winning the battle in your mind requires daily practice. Just like a soldier trains with drills and exercises, you must train your thoughts. That means reading words that lift you up instead of drag you down. That means surrounding yourself with people who believe in you instead of those who discourage you. That means speaking life over yourself even when your circumstances look dark. You cannot let the noise of the world drown out the truth of your strength. Now, I'm not telling you it's easy. Your mind will try to rebel. It will want to focus on everything that's wrong, everything that's missing, everything that hurts. But you have the power to redirect it. When the thought says, "I can't," you replace it with, "I will find a way." When the thought says, "I'm not enough," you declare, "I am more than enough." When the thought says, "This is impossible," you stand up and say, "Nothing is impossible for me." Over time, those new thoughts become your new reality. Here's the truth: your mind can either be your prison or your passport. It can lock you inside the walls of fear and limitation, or it can take you to levels you never dreamed were possible. The choice is yours. That's why warriors don't wait for circumstances to change before they change their minds. They win the battle internally first, and then everything else begins to align externally. So if you want to build mental toughness like a warrior, you must start with your thoughts. Train your mind to expect victory, to prepare for greatness, to believe in your strength. Because once you win the war within, nothing on the outside can defeat you. Fall 7 times, rise 8. That's the warrior's code. Life is not about avoiding the fall, it's about mastering the rise. Everybody falls. Everybody stumbles. Everybody hits the ground at some point. The difference between those who stay down and those who rise is the decision they make in that moment of defeat. Do they let the ground become their home, or do they use it as a place to gather strength and push themselves back up? Failure is not the end, it's a chapter. Too many people treat a single failure like a final sentence. They miss one opportunity, and they convince themselves it will never come again. They lose once, and they convince themselves they're losers forever. But warriors know better. A fall is just feedback. It's life's way of saying, this wasn't the right way. Adjust, learn, grow. Every time you rise with more wisdom, more clarity, more determination. That's why falling is never wasted. It's the fuel for your next victory. Think about a baby learning to walk. How many times does that child fall? Dozens, hundreds. But have you ever seen a baby fall once and say, walking isn't for me? Never. That child keeps trying, keeps wobbling, keeps stumbling until one day they're walking, then running. The same principle applies to your dreams. You will fall. You will make mistakes. But as long as you rise, you are still in the fight. The problem is, most people quit after the fall. They stay down because it's comfortable. The floor feels safe. Standing back up takes courage. It takes effort. It takes heart. And that's what separates warriors from the rest. Warriors refuse to let failure have the last word. Warriors don't fear the fall. They fear staying down. They understand that every scar is a story. Every bruise is a lesson. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. Rising is not about ignoring the pain. Rising is about pushing through it. When you get knocked down, it hurts. It can break your spirit. It can shatter your confidence. But the act of rising, even when it's slow, even when it's shaky, proves to you and to the world that you are not finished. Rising is the declaration of a warrior's spirit. You may knock me down, but you cannot keep me there. Each rise builds resilience. The more you rise, the easier it becomes. The first time you fail, it feels like the end of the world. The second time, you recognize the pattern. The third time, you know you've been here before and survived. Over time, failure loses its power over you because you've trained yourself to rise instinctively. That's when you become unstoppable. Remember, success is not measured by how many times you avoid falling. It's measured by how many times you get back up. Some of the most successful people you admire today have failed more times than most people have even tried. But what makes them stand out is that every single time they fell, they made the choice to rise again. So when life pushes you down, don't give up. Don't surrender. Don't let that be the final chapter. Rise one more time. And if you fall again, rise one more time after that. Because a warrior's strength is not proven in never falling. It's proven in never staying down. Warriors are not born, they are forged through struggle. Nobody comes into this world with unshakable strength, unbreakable courage, or unstoppable willpower. That toughness you admire, that resilience you respect, that fire you wish you had, it is not inherited, it is created. And the forge that creates it is struggle. The heat of adversity, the pressure of challenges, the blows of failure. These are the hammer and fire that shape ordinary people into warriors. It's easy to look at someone strong and assume they were always that way. But what you don't see are the nights they cried themselves to sleep, the failures that nearly broke them, the rejections that cut deep, the losses that made them question everything. What you don't see are the countless times they were tempted to quit, the moments they doubted their own worth, the days they fought battles nobody else knew about. That's the forge. That's the struggle. And without it, there is no warrior. Struggle teaches you what comfort never could. Comfort makes you soft. Struggle makes you sharp. Comfort makes you complacent. Struggle makes you hungry. Comfort lets you stay the same. Struggle forces you to grow. When life puts you in uncomfortable situations, it is not punishing you. It is preparing you. The fire doesn't burn you to destroy you. It burns away what's weak so that what's strong can remain. That's why some of the strongest people you'll ever meet are the ones who've walked through the darkest storms. Struggle also reveals who you really are. It strips away the masks, the excuses, the illusions. When you're pressed, what's inside of you comes out. That's why warriors don't run from struggle. They face it because they know every battle is an opportunity to discover new strength. The struggle says, "Show me what you're made of." And the warrior answers, "I will show you resilience. I will show you fight. I will show you spirit." Think about the sword of a warrior. Before it becomes sharp, it is just a piece of raw metal. But when it is placed into the fire, hammered again and again, folded and pressed, what was once ordinary becomes extraordinary. That is exactly how struggle works in your life. Every time you are hit, every time you are tested, every time you are pressed, you are being shaped into something greater. Without the fire, the sword is weak. Without the struggle, the warrior is soft. And here's the truth. Struggle never feels good when you're in it. It hurts. It's frustrating. It makes you wonder if you're even capable of making it through. But when you look back, you realize that every great leap in your life came after a struggle. Every breakthrough was born in the middle of a breakdown. Every triumph was carved out of trials. Struggle doesn't just test you, it transforms you. That's why the warrior's mindset is different. Where others see obstacles, the warrior sees opportunities. Where others see pain, the warrior sees preparation. Where others see failure, the warrior sees the forge. They understand that the struggle is not their enemy. It is the process that makes them powerful. So when life gets hard, don't curse the struggle. Don't ask, "Why me?" Ask, "What is this making me into?" Because every moment of struggle is molding you. Every difficulty is shaping you. Every battle is building you. Warriors are not born. They are made. And the making happens in the struggle you are facing right now. Embrace it, endure it, and let it forge you into the unbreakable warrior you were destined to be.